All right, starting over. Hello, I'm host Eric talking with famous people. We're talking about the difference between MBTV and talking with famous people, and I was very gratified to hear that Susanna, unlike 99% of people who get here, didn't find MBTV first. Usually that's the case. They're bigger, they're more well known, they do a better job of tagging shit, they're more YouTube search algorithm friendly, they're more Google algorithm friendly, they are they put the handle on all the little shit you should do to being successful at YouTube is not about hitting. It's about doing a lot of little ancillary shit perfectly so that each of your objects has its maximized revenue generating possibility and maximum findability so that it has most possibility of being shared, basically, so that things can take off in that fashion. But I don't do any of that shit. I try sometimes, but I can't. I have a hard time being consistent over time. And so I might like say, okay, I'm gonna really try to do this. I might do it for a few days, and then I go, oh fuck it. So that's the difference between MVTV and talking with famous people in terms of practical concerns. But the reason is because of what we were just talking about here. They don't care about clash. They don't value clash. They think if they disagree with you, they'll take the parts of the idea that are useful to them, leave the rest behind, and it doesn't bother to fighting over. But I see that as deeply, deeply, deeply immoral. Because how the fuck can you figure out what's right and wrong if you don't argue about it? What do you think, Susanna?
I think you're right. You need to see different perspectives to find the truth.
What do you think about the position in the other angle that says that all of this parsing shit out doesn't ever even reach any solid conclusions? It's all just sort of for the purpose of this conversation. So, how can you claim that talking shit out and arguing shit out and finding points of clash and parsing shit down is better than actually getting shit done? I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm pretending to be the ENTJ now. What do you say to that?
Well, let's say you are a person watching YouTube and you find some MBTV thing. I haven't even seen it. And then you find another video with three people who have completely different opinions. And then you watch 5 more videos, and at the end you will have made up your own mind of what you think is the truth anyway.
Will you? Okay, what do you think about the idea that I basically try to sustain, which is that I don't ever make up my mind about anything except for conditionally, and you probably sort of agree with that. You just sort of left the conditionally out, but I really feel as though I'm about as detached from my beliefs as I can be in terms of, at least in terms of a willingness to kick them as arguments. I'm not attached to any of my beliefs as arguments. I may be I may be demonstrative of actual beliefs by my repetition of certain statements and the persistence with which I say them or the consistency with which I say them. But I don't feel in any context that I have any problem kicking away from me any argument that's not working in the context of that discussion. So, how attached do you feel to your beliefs?
Good question. My beliefs can be changed depending on what information I have. And if I found out something new, I may change my belief.
I received feedback that I needed to leave you more room to think before you start talking.
Oh, God.
I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate. What just happened was an example of it. I asked a question. You're pausing to think. My mistake is in that I think that means you're not comfortable with the question in some way, and you want me to add a little more information to make you feel more comfortable with the question. But that's not really the case. You're a TI Dom, so you don't. the horse isn't already halfway out the gate before I'm done asking the question. You're actually hearing my question and thinking about it before you answer. So
That is true.
so I'm going to try to give you a little more space to do that. Okay, so what I just asked you was about argumentation, about changing your opinion. But my question is more like, what is an opinion to you before it's changed? How static is it? And what functionality does it have to say that you ascribe to one? Say, I believe this, but I don't believe that. What's the difference in terms of how those respective statements that you either affirm or negate play out in your life?
I think it depends how important it is. Some things are more important than others.
Would you say the strength of your belief has any proportional relationship to the significance of the thing being believed about?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think that the strength of the belief has a relationship to the distance from yourself? In other words, the closer it is to you personally, then, like, if it's a belief about yourself or a belief about a loved one, you're going to hold more conviction or less conviction than if it's a belief about some foreign country or about some international policy or something.
Well, it will be easier for me to not assume too much about a foreign country I haven't even been to.
What would you say if someone were to say it should be easier to be dispassionate about a foreign country, but it's more meaningful to be? I mean, but you don't really want to be detached from loved ones, for example, would be one argument, or that detachment from loved ones is more difficult, so it's what you ought to be detached about more. There's more need there. But do you find that being less detached with loved ones makes those relationships more difficult, or do you think that it's a necessary way of making them healthy?
I think to some extent it is necessary to keep them healthy.
So does that mean that at least some of the time it's better for you to get upset about things, even if you could easily enough rationalize it away, ignore it, or let it go?
Well, it's probably, it depends on the situation.
I hate that answer. I said sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes
Okay, sometimes.
implies situational variation.
Okay. Then I suppose I can say yes to that.
Let's say you asked Vladim to bring you back a grapefruit from the store. Instead, he brought you an orange. How furious are you?
I would laugh hard, and it would be a funny thing.
But what if it became increasingly clear that he had intentionally not gotten you a grapefruit because he felt as though you didn't deserve a grapefruit right now? You had only acted in ways that earned you an orange at this point.
If that was his reasoning, I would probably be offended. I would try to find out what was the cause that made him do that. What did I do wrong?
What if he says
Why
this?
did I only
Listen,
deserve?
you're getting fat, okay? The grapefruit has too much fleshy fruit inside there. It's just going to add calories, so I got you the orange. It's smaller. Okay, I didn't want to tell you, but that's the reason. You're getting fat. I'm sorry. What if he says that?
He should worry about himself first. If I want to be fat, that's my problem.
It's not a problem even. But what if he said, but look, I don't need to worry about my weight because I'm the man. Now, your job is to be sexy. So now you've just lost half the orange. You get half an orange now.
I don't think my job is to be sexy.
Oh, you don't, do you? Well, let's go over regulations for being in a relationship with Vladim, okay? Number 1, always be sexy. Number 2, always eat exactly the fruit I tell you to eat and nothing else.
This was not agreed upon beforehand. This was not the deal I thought I got.
You just wrote that down right now, Vladim. No, this is your signature. That's not my signature. I just saw you forge my signature. I'm assuming that probably doesn't actually happen in your relationship, right?
No.
Good. It's good to hear.
But he has come home. But he has come home with the wrong things.
He does come up with wrong things. Well, he's an ENTP, right?
Yeah.
That's gonna happen. Sometimes he probably comes home with nothing. Like, I couldn't remember why I left the house. I do something like that, you know. I'd be like halfway down the street. Where am I going?
Yeah, it's not that bad, but almost.
That exact thing I described literally happens to me a lot. Because I get in the car, I'm thinking hard about something unrelated to where I'm going. And then I'm 2 blocks away from my house, and I realize that instead of figuring out where I should go left, straight, or right when I get to the end of the alley, I just went straight without thinking about it, and I'm like a couple sections of alley down, and then I go, where am I going? And sometimes I can remember, and sometimes I actually go back home because I don't remember where I was going. And then invariably when I get back home, I sit back down, whatever it was that prompted me to go someplace in the first place prompts me again. It's usually going to be something like, I ran out of drinks, or, I'm out of cigarettes, that's right. But see, if it's cigarettes, I will figure it out in the car. Because that's my first guess. Am I out of cigarettes? Oh, wait, I have cigarettes. Well, where the fuck am I going? Cigarettes I'll figure out.
Like the thing you said there, at work yesterday, he wrote to me and told me, he said, my body needs pizza. And my reply to that was, my body needs cola. and then it said, okay. And I said, okay, I will make you pizza. Guess what you do?
What did you do?
He comes home with no cola for me.
Oh,
and the pizza is ready.
That surprises me not at all. That doesn't surprise me one bit. That's not his fault. He can't help that.
Yeah, but today now, he's gonna get it, and I'm gonna remind him, and he also have to bring me cigarettes.
Fair. See, if you're with a reasonable person like that, that would be heaven, right? You just go, instead of you being super fussy, you offer me a solution that goes, okay, well, you forgot this, so you get me this and this tomorrow, and we're cool. But fantastic. Thank you for being so practical in your emotions. That's very practical. You've told me. See, some people say like, well, you hurt my feelings, so you need to. Now you have to make it up to make me feel good. But that's not specific enough. I like that specificity there, where there's I need to do this, and then the thing is done. That's fair.
Yeah,
fair.
And I win too. And I win too because I don't have to go to the store tomorrow.
That's a good point. So you vape and smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, I'm horrible.
How many cigarettes do you smoke a day?
That varies a lot, I think. Some days 1 or 2, other days more. Quite a bit more. And if I visit my friend, I don't bring the vape at all, and I smoke a pack.
Well, that's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. You should probably start smoking weed to help your lungs compensate for the cigarettes. But if you don't have it, then you don't have it. Can you get it there? You can't get it, huh?
If I knew where to get it, I could probably get it. But I don't, and I don't really care.
Right. Well, because You haven't had enough opportunities to become enthusiastic about it. That's the problem with those kind of places where it's illegal. One of the problems. Norway. I was going Holland, Denmark, fucking Norway. Your country's hard to remember.
But you always return to Holland, which we have no person who's from there.
I know, because
You like wooden shoes.
yeah, well, it's just there's a thing associated with it, right? Holland's got the windmills, they got the tulips. Denmark's got your wooden shoes. Sweden's got your.
That's not Denmark.
Oh, is that not Denmark? What is that? That's
No,
Holland too.
it's all Holland.
It's all Holland?
is Holland.
Okay.
You should go to Holland.
Oh, Denmark has dikes.
I suppose they do.
Which is the one with all the
No,
fjords?
no. That's also Holland.
Oh, really? Which is Holland the one with the fjords?
No, that's Norway.
Oh, that's Norway. Norway has the fjords.
You knew that.
I didn't. I wasn't sure which one had the fjords, but I know that one of those countries has the fjords. I've heard that before, for sure. I'm not even sure what a fjord is, actually. I thought it was like a rivulet of some sort, like a small river or something like an outcropping of land that makes for little jets of water coming in from the sea or something. What is exactly a fjord?
Well, that was almost. Like the sea goes in through the land, and there is mountains on each side.
They're very scenic or what? You take a boat down there and it looks like, wow, look at the mountains on either side, like that?
Yeah, that's what the tourists come for. They go on a boat and they have a mountain on each side, and that's apparently very fascinating.
Do a lot of people pine for the fjords?
What you mean, pine?
Pining is to long for, in like a I miss it way. I long for something. So if you have a loved one who's away on a trip for weeks at a time, and it was the old days and you couldn't talk to them, they'd say, oh, she's pining for Richard. He's off across the pond again. She's pining.
Well, there's probably someone who does that. Haven't really thought much about that.
The reason I ask the question is because there's a very famous line from a Monty Python skit where it's about the parrot in Norwegian blue. It's funny. I hadn't made the connection before. Anyway, the Norwegian blue parrot, and it's dead. And the pet store owner is trying to convince the customer that it's not dead. And one of the excuses he gives for its lack of movement is that the bird is pining for the fjords. Because he's Norwegian, you see, the bird. Anyway, what else you got in Norway?
More mountains, sea everywhere.
Sea and mountains, and that's it, huh? Yeah, I mean, you must have
Fish.
some cultural thing, like some cultural costume, some quaint costume you guys wear, or something like that, right? I'm gonna if I can look at Wikipedia's thing on Norway. I'm gonna learn myself about Norway right now.
Okay, search for this word.
Bunad. I'll search for bunad. That's a dirty sounding word. Ooh. Rural traditional clothing. That is so quaint and rustic. It is darling. Oh my gosh. You people are darling. Your quaint cultural costumes are adorable. Let's see. Bunader. These are called bunaders. I want a bigger one though. Let me look at the tools. Size. Is one tool? Size, yes. I want large pictures only. Well, hello there, and welcome to Norway. This picture is weird. Look at this weird
What
picture.
picture?
I'll show you. This guy looks like such a creep. Well, hello there, and welcome to Norway.
Yeah, and that picture is actually from something that has been on TV from the red. But yeah, if you see the link I posted in chat, I have one of those.
Oh yeah, I'll check it out. Let me see. Sons of Norway. Those are all women.
Yeah, no idea what that was about.
You have one of those? Is that when your hair was longer and darker?
That's not me. I don't have a picture of me in it. Well, not on the computer. My parents have tons of it.
Listen, next time you come, actually, go change into that right now.
I don't even have it here. It's still at my parents' house.
Okay, well, obviously you need to buy another one. You should. You're Norwegian. You shouldn't leave the house unless you're wearing one of those things. I think that's fair to say. You could become the freak in town who's super crazy about being Norwegian.
Oh. I would not be able to afford more than one later. Those
Right.
are fucking expensive.
They're expensive,
Yeah.
but look, they make rocks comfortable places to sit. That's how powerful this clothing is. Let's see who else we got pictures of here. Alrighty. Young woman wearing a bunad. Norway. Stock photo. She's pretty cute.
Is this the new tactic for finding a woman? You're finding women on the internet.
How about her? She looks like
No.
a hefty girl. She looks like a strong woman. Hurdy. I'm a vintage Norwegian. Alright. This is a fun game here. Let's Google image various things. Okay? So for example, several concerned citizens looking chagrined.
What does chagrin mean?
Chagrined means like, did I do that?
Oh.
These people don't look chagrined at all. Let me take out the word concerned citizens. Let me change it to several important citizens. No, let's change it to several unimportant citizens.
You're gonna find all things you don't need. You're using too many words. No, we just found, what was it, old citizens.
How about citizens looking chagrined?
Or just chagrin.
How about young family looking chagrined? How about young family looking alarmed? Let's see who else.
Google does not understand you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to put some different things in here. You got to be patient with this process. It's a winnowing process. Winnowing process. Winnowing looking alarmed. Gleefully winnowing.
But why? Doubtful winnowing. What's even the coherence in that?
Doubtful winnowing. I don't know what.
Ra-
Because, well, I mean, I wanted to see some
Especially
doubt.
random. Some doubt, okay?
Okay. How about a woman looking disturbed at unmade bed? This woman's really unhappy about the bed being unmade. See?
Only admit.
Untidy room stock photos. Oh my god, this room is a mess. Oh my god. I can't believe how messy it is in here. Let's see about this one. She's not allowed to breastfeed in public.
That wasn't even public.
I know. What is this? This is a weird picture. That's how women get ready in the... These women don't look that thing I said. Okay. Looking disturbed. Looking constipated.
Constipated.
Now that's
Okay.
constipated. She is really constipated.
Yeah, you.
She doesn't look constipated at all, though, right? Pregnant moms. Let's minus pregnant.
Yeah, she's looking way too good.
Constipated. Expression. Minus pregnant. This is a pretty good facial expression right there. That's constipation though? I'm not sure that facial expression is constipation, but it's a strange picture. It's a really
I have
strange
no.
picture.
I think that's been photoshopped or something.
Probably.
Face does not look normal at all.
Oops. Being brave with cakes.
I saw there was just a comment on the SI video from yesterday.
All right, what did it say?
Well, one guy is saying, last 4 to 5 minutes are cold. That's where you say you want a woman.
See, I thought the last 45 minutes kind of fell apart, but
They did. You were coherent up to some point, then something happened. And you're probably still recording.
oh, am I? Probably.
So,
Yeah, I sure am. What am I recording though? Okay, well I'll stop recording. Then.
we
I don't think
started
that was not
talking
gonna
about
make it up
something.
there, probably.